They don't get much more gritty than those who pilot the mean machines of the Tough Trucks Challenge. Well, these woolly wheelmen may be family off the track. Once the helmet goes on, the friendship goes out the window. Winchester was a prophet when at the beginning of the season he said it was going to be a free-for-all on the 2019 Tough Trucks Challenge. The points among the top four are so close, and what's transpired so far in Indy is not serving to simplify the problem at all. Let's take a look at some of these storylines. Pat Winchester, your points leader after Bloomsburg, went runner-up in Lima, got into the points lead after the Pennsylvania run, but he has yet to qualify for the field. Not only has he had trouble finding speed on this track, but he had mechanical problems and pulled off in session number 1. Your second in points, Nick Anderson, he was matched up with that guy right there, Wayne Solly and Thunderstruck, here in qualifying. Anderson, who wrecked his way into second place after winning in Lima, he's sitting 10th in the qualifying field right now, and he needs to try to gain some qualifying points to help him get past Pat Winchester if he has any hope of taking the 2019 Tough Trucks Challenge victory. But they both have to worry about that guy, Al Varner, who's sitting in third. In the Bounty Hunter, he is fourth in the qualifying field, third in points. But the big story coming out of session number 1 was these two, Mike Loopold in the red Warhorse Bronco and Mark Noto in the Afterburner. They're not set to take the points championship this year, but they were the only two guys in the sub 1 minute category coming out of the first session of qualifying. We had a chance to talk earlier to Mark Noto. All right, you guys came back to play spoiler, and you came out and got the number 1 qualifying time.
Yeah, number 1 so far. We have 2 more qualifying rounds, so we'll see what happens at the end of those.
How's the track feel?
Actually, it's smooth. I mean, I've been pushing a little bit here so far, but it's still flowing good, so it's always a good feeling. It's never fun when it doesn't flow.
How's the truck feel?
Good. Truck's running good. Hopefully we can keep it up. Mickey Thompson tires looking up good. Hopefully we can do some blockage and keep a couple of guys that are up in points down and give Pat a helping hand anyhow and getting the points. But if not, Travis and Al are both good dudes, and it'd be good to see any 3 of them get the points this year.
A lot of loyalty among the Empire State Tough Truck contingent. Mark Noto and Mike Loopold, you can see clearly the only 2 guys under 1 minute, but Travis Stevens and Al Varner were knocking on their back door, and then Jake Nichols in the 101, but he's right on par with Al Varner. It's not that much of a gap between those two. This should be an awesome field, but Mark Noto, remember, has been on his top already this season, and this track, though he's won here, has held surprises for him in years past. So we'll see what happens as we get into qualifying session number 2 here with the Tough Trucks Challenge in Indy, the final stop for 2019.
This Back Channel Productions program is presented in part by Monsters Monthly. For up-to-date show and ticket info, plus articles, event breakdowns, and a wide selection of photo and video galleries, visit monstersmonthly.com.
Back in Indianapolis, Indiana, at the Indiana State Fairgrounds for the 2019 Tough Trucks Challenge, part of the Lucas Oil 4-Wheel Jamboree Series. We're at the 38th annual O'Reilly Auto Parts Fall 4-Wheel Jamboree Nationals. Our first pair of qualifiers up, and these guys draw the same trucks for 3 qualifying sessions. So, get a chance to try to dial the truck in and come up with some consistency. Logan Ellis in level up. Newcomer to the driver's seat, but not a newcomer to the world of tough trucks from the Ellis family. We talked about that last time. You'll see Willis Shorty Ellis in a little bit in the next level Chevrolet. Logan Ellis laying down a good run right now, looking real smooth. He's actually gaining a lot of ground now between himself and Paul Hackle and the Swamp Donkey, another member of the Foy Toy Racing, gave him some problems there for Paul Hackle in the Swamp Donkey. These guys not sitting quite where I think they would like to in the qualifying ladder, but they have this and another session to try to improve, so we'll see where Logan Ellis ends up as he's laying down a nice smooth run right now in the leveled up Chevrolet. And he's just made a wrong turn. I believe he may have gone into the wrong section before that, so Paul Hackle may actually get the better of these two runs. Logan Ellis, I'm not even sure what section of the course he's on right now. He was only supposed to go over the whoops one time, and he went over them twice, and I think he forgot where he was. It's a long track, as you can see, times well above 1 minute. Speaking of which, Paul Hackle at a 106.215, so he'll end up in 12th position after that pair of runs right there. I don't think he made any moves at all. Logan Ellis will hold his spot because he did not qualify out of this second qualifying session. Now the Godfather, Jake Nichols, against his old buddy and teammate, Scott Martin, in the Haulin' Ass Ford. There are blue ovals out of the Empire State getting ready to go toe-to-toe here in qualifying. Session number 2. A little bit of that Foy Toy hang time right there over the first jump, and a beautiful turn for both of those guys. Jake Nichols, though, kept up more momentum. Love the squeal of those tires on this pavement. These guys are using it to perfection right now. This would be a lot harder for some of the rookies coming in, but these guys know how to handle a really dirt track around here. It's a blast to watch them at speed take these corners, sliding around here like they're on glass. Look, Scott Martin making a good run. He caught up a little bit to Jake Nichols, and now he's got a little edge on him. Side by side as they enter the final leg and a half of this course. Jake Nichols in the Foy Toy trying to get his edge back right there as he is side by side technically with Scott Martin. They're a track a world away from each other right now, but they are nose to nose. Jake Nichols into position number 5, a hard landing there in the end. A 101.968 did not improve his qualifying time, but a good run nonetheless. Hangs him in there in the top 10 for the moment. Qualifying position number 9 goes to Scott Martin in Haulin' Ass.
Competitive race there. Next to the next level, and Tom Foust.
Now, Thomas Foust, Mad Money, doing a little dry hop, testing the traction and the tires on the pavement. Dusty pavement here today. The green Ford out of Pennsylvania. He will tell you he's just a little bit underpowered against some of these guys. There you see Shorty Ellis. We talked about him a moment ago. You saw Logan Ellis and leveled up. This is the next level Chevrolet. The original Shorty Ellis, one of the top tough truck drivers in the country, lined up against one of the wildest tough truck drivers in the country, Thomas Foust. You can see the horsepower advantage clearly going to the Chevrolet, but watch the way Thomas Foust keeps himself in the game. He does it with handling. He does it staying smooth. He may not be able to run these guys down in a straight every time, but he can definitely outdrive some of the best as they head into the whoop section. Look at that, Foust with an advantage going into the outside corner. Little bobble there for Ellis. He's going to have to play catch-up here. Even though they're just running the clock, you want to know you went faster than the guy in the other lane, because that's at least one position you don't have to worry about. Thomas Foust handling this course beautifully, has more problems. Up here for Ellis in the next level Chevrolet. He's going way wide on that corner. He's been having handling problems here this weekend. Thomas Foust is really not attacking the track the way I've normally seen him do. Is doing a nice job here. He's not overdriving any of these corners, and he lays down a good run. Shorty Ellis with 105, 152. He's one off the bump spot there in the 15th position Out of qualifying session number 2, and Thomas Foust, we wait on the time for him. He'll end up in 4th. Good run for Thomas Foust, a 1:01 and change. We will take a quick break and be back with more qualifying in the Tough Trucks Challenge. Welcome back to Indy. Get ready for a single here on the Tough Trucks Challenge course. Brett Boninburg, another Bronco from the Foy Toy Racing Team out of the state of New York. Boninburg, a Pennsylvania favorite. Seen this guy barrel roll this truck back in 2017, so not always known as the smoothest driver, but he is fast. Guy is a wild man behind the wheel. Good turn for him right there. A little bobble coming out, but he's still keeping the speed up. We'll see what he nets at the end of this run. Into the whoop section. Losing a little time right there. Plowing just a little bit, but he stays on the inside of the corner. Not taking anything away from this build, but it might be time for a new beer money. I know that's easier said than done, but I think this truck might have been beaten one too many times. Beautiful final corner for him, though. Look at that. Let's see what the time was. Kept himself off the bump spot at a 1:04.943, so a good run for Brett Boninburg. Don't take any of those comments personally if you're watching this, Brett. We're big fans of yours over here. So, we line up our next pairing. Now, can the points leader get down the track? At Winchester, again, has yet to qualify for this field. He has to make a run in the first round to keep himself in points on Sunday afternoon. That'll be coming up in a couple more editions here on Monster Power. He's lined up against John Youngblood, who's been on his top already this season. You can see that body's a little worse for wear. That's not all just from this season. John's put that truck over a fair few times, and he's laying out a good run right now. Pat Winchester out in front. Truck looks good. The truck sounds good as he swings a beautiful corner, pivots right around the barricade, and goes through the whoops with perfection. Youngblood hanging in there with him, though. A little wide in that corner, out on the grass. Not enough to get himself penalized, though. Look at that. Pat Winchester sweeping right through there. A beautiful corner. Youngblood trying to play catch-up in the wild thing. He's going over. No, he's not. What a save for John Youngblood. Living up to the name yet again. The wild thing. Taking a wild ride is Pat Winchester. I don't think Pat even saw it. Doesn't matter. He's not going to worry about it. He'll finish up an awesome run in the mental case Ford. The Wild Thing Chevrolet heads off the track. He's going to have to get back in the pits and make sure he didn't damage anything. Hard hit on the rear end. Let's see what the time was for Winchester. Look at that, new fast time, 59.421 seconds. That is what Pat Winchester was looking for, and I guarantee you he's got some more speed that he can pull out of this track. Watch it again, though. John Youngblood, the KG veteran, pushes it just a little bit too hard on the final jump of this leg. Looking at the asphalt, and I cannot believe he did not roll that truck over. Slid around, pirouetted on the nose, and then slams down on the rear end. You can see the body language in the cockpit. He knew. He came very, very close to ending his weekend right there. Now, one of the big surprises in this field, a guy we know is competitive. We've seen him lay down some quick runs in the past. Wayne Solly and Thunderstruck, another member of Youngblood Racing. John Youngblood, owner of that truck. Wayne Solly, hired gun here for the weekend and a solid driver. In the Tough Trucks Challenge Championship, he takes on your second in points right now, Nick Anderson, and that bright red Chevrolet, the Central Ohio Tire Machine. Anderson won in Lima. He dominated Lima. No one could get past him. He was doing well in Bloomsburg, not quite where he wanted to be, and then he center punched a K-Rail in the semifinal round against Al Varner and ended up in second place coming into Indy. He has got to find some speed in this track. He's trying to do that right now, but Wayne Solly is making him think about everything he's doing, because I know he can see Wayne slightly ahead of him every time he comes into that final corner. And Nick is not a guy who normally lets the pressure get to him, but you can see he is having trouble keeping the truck straight coming out of the corners right now. Wayne Solly, though, in Thunderstruck, laying down an awesome run in that big blue Ford out of the Youngblood Racing camp. Not a bad run here for Nick Anderson. We'll see if he improved on his time, but again, bobbling there, coming over the final jump, and a 1 minute and change run for Wayne Solly and Thunderstruck. Let's see what the time was for Anderson. 1:01.728, so he'll remain in 10th position. Still looking for that fast time. We'll see what happens when we come back. Roll them to the line. The most interesting pair of trucks in this qualifying field. The bright red Jeep with a Ford engine under the hood, and that gray Ford in the near lane with a Chevy small block under that fiberglass doghouse. Or the most beautiful entry here on the grounds at Indy for the Fall Jamboree Nationals. The thumbs up from Travis Stevens, and one last shot, John Yoder, and under pressure. Stevens was very fast yesterday, came into this qualifying session sitting in third. I believe he's been knocked out of third at this point, but he could regain some spots by the end of this qualifying session. We'll wait and see. Awesome run through the whoop section. Beautiful corner right there for the Ford. This is another guy who could jump up and surprise the top two here this weekend, and he's definitely a big pain in Al Varner's backside right now, because Travis could really hurt Al Varner's chances of finishing in the top 2 or 3. I tell you what, we keep talking about this truck right here. John Yoder is laying down a nice run in that far lane. You see him right there coming into that final corner. Man, they were together coming across the transponder cables. Let's see what the times were. Travis Stevens at a 1 minute, .637 second run. Put him into 4th, and Yoder was right there with him. Going to 5th. .436. Not a bad run for either of those guys in the top 5 as of right now. Here comes a guy who had all kinds of trouble yesterday. Dale Denault, the Wild Stallion, dropped a drive shaft and a couple other parts out of the rear end coming through the whoop section yesterday evening. Matches up with the guy we were talking about earlier. Al Varner comes into this event 30 in points, and he was sitting 4th in the qualifying ladder at a 1 minute, .526 second elapsed time. So we'll see what these guys look like coming out of session number 2. Hard charge off the line right there. Let's see what Denault is able to do. He had some beautiful corners yesterday until he broke the truck. He falls back a little bit right there. Al Varner slingshot out of that one. Dale Denault catching some hang time over the tabletop. A little bit of a rough ride there for Varner through the whoop section. These guys don't appear to be really going after him right now in a wide corner right there for Varner. Lined him up perfectly for that jump, though. You can't take that away from him. It looks a lot different from up here on the stage than it does from behind the wheel of one of these tough trucks. They are right there together. In fact, a little lead for Dale Denault coming into that middle straightaway. Pretty close matchup right now. Dale Denault laying down a pretty smooth run. Let's see if he can hang on to it. And Denault with the better of those two times. Varner remains now in the position he had. He wasn't able to better his time. A 102.807 second run, and then a 102.443 was the faster of those two times, but not faster than the 1 minute .526 second run that Al Varner ran yesterday that had him in fourth. So Varner not doing too bad today. Not quite what he would have liked to have run, but he'll sit in sixth as of right now. Of course, Denault you saw there down in 13th as he did not lay down a time yesterday. Now here's two friends of Pat Winchester, and they were the two fastest guys on the premises yesterday, but do not think that friendship means anything when these guys line up here. A pair of New Yorkers and a pair of Ford trucks. A little bit of a lead for Mike Leupold. Well, Noto got that edge back. I think that does bit Leupold a little bit in that corner, and Noto just hit a barricade. That'll be a penalty, and I don't think there's any way he's going to get down in that range that he had yesterday in that sub 1 minute run. Mike Leupold looking good right now on the Warhorse. Nice smooth turn right there. Mark Noto still laying down a shot here in the afterburner. You know he's quick. Leupold falling back right now. Neither one of them getting the kind of run that they had yesterday. And problems right there for Mike Leupold. I don't know if he just overdrove that corner or had a mechanical problem or what. Mark Noto across the finish line, and Leupold won't even finish the course. I'm not sure what happened to the Warhorse. Mark Noto with a penalty at a 104.29. No, can't be too upset, though. He hangs on in second place. No one but Pat Winchester beat his time, and there you see it. Pat Winchester to 59.429 second run. Noto at a 59.708, and Mike Leupold hanging in there in third. There's Travis Stevens fourth, and John Yoder in fifth, rounding out the top five in our field. And then Brett Boninburg currently on the bump spot in the Beer Money Ford. So we will see who makes the field and who gets knocked out. There are only two spots that are going to get knocked out at this one. Very, very tight field of trucks here in Indianapolis. 2019 Tough Trucks Challenge, the final stop for the year. Keep it here on Monster Power for all the action. Well, we thank you for joining us for this edition of Monster Power from Indy. We will see you next time.